What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to this Anfield Agenda Carabao Cup preview. The Reds travel to take on Preston North End tomorrow night. No, not tomorrow night, Craig. It's Wednesday night. Tomorrow night's Tuesday, Craig. They're playing on Wednesday night, and it's going to be another chance to see some of the young and fringe players. So what I thought I'd do is I'd go through I want to say predicted 11, but that's probably not the right phrase. I'll take a stab at the 11 I think might take to the pitch, and we'll go through the score prediction. We'll have a chat around everything else you guys want to around the game as well. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we are brought to you with thanks to a sponsor, and today we're brought to you with thanks to our friends at the Ultimate Fan app. If you haven't downloaded the Ultimate Fan app yet, let me take a minute to explain to you guys what it basically is. It's a free fantasy football game that incorporates FIFA pack openings into your FPL experience. Once you sign up Ultimate Fan, you'll be given a free 10-card pack to put into your team. You'll score things based on points for goals like we'll try that again. You'll score points based on things like goals scored, clean sheet, shots, things like that. You'll also receive a free 3-card player pack every Tuesday of the 38 Premier League game weeks. And here's the best part, ladies and gents. It doesn't matter if you've missed the first 7 or 8 weeks of the league, because every single week you can win up to £8,500 from the overall prize pool of £300,000, and they pay out as low as 300th place. It's completely free to play the game. All you have to be is a UK or Irish resident, age 18 plus, and if you're inclined to spend a few quid, you can spend £5 a month maximum on gold and silver packs, which will obviously boost up the players that you have in your squad and probably enable you to push a little bit further up the league table if you haven't been lucky with the packs that you've got normally. This game week there's over £8,500 in prizes to be won, so make sure you download the app with the link in the description below. It's entirely free, as I said, UK and Irish residents, age 18 plus. Right, ladies and gentlemen, what do we take a moment to just go straight into this balls deep, or do we have a little second to just allow ourselves to remind ourselves of that 5-0 win last night? 5-0 at Old Trafford. 5-0. Did I say it was 5? Sorry, folks. It was 5-0. 5-0. 5. Bagel. 5. 5. 5. Right, anyway, we'll get straight into this. And look, it's never easy. It's never easy when you're doing a prediction for these type of games, because one, as with Connor did with the thumbnail, sometimes you forget who's out on loan and who isn't, because you don't get to see these guys for the longest time. But let's get straight into it, and I've put together an 11 that I think is a fairly good show, based off who's available, obviously, to the manager, who hasn't played much, and who we'd like to see play. So we'll start off with the score prediction, and as you can see on the screen there now, I think the Reds are going to get the job done. I think Preston will probably get a goal in the game, them being a home crowd behind them, but I've gone for a 3-1 win to Jurgen Klopp's men. Now, obviously, we await updates on the goalkeeper situation, because we fully expect the backup keeper to come in and play this game. It's usually the case in the League Cup and the FA Cup, but Caoimhín Kelleher was ill for the game the other day, so he wasn't on the bench. So let's start off with the goalkeeper situation. I'm hoping he's available, so I've gone with Caoimhín Kelleher in goal. Look, if he isn't available, expect Adrian to be in goal. Centre back was an interesting one, because I think Joe Gomez needs minutes, and I think we might as well capitalise on Ibrahima Konaté's excellent performance at Old Trafford and try and keep the momentum going for him. It'll be another battle against Preston. They'll be physical, they'll be looking to put crosses into the box, and I think Ibrahima Konaté's aerial prowess and how well he handled the occasion yesterday, I thought, why not? Let's show him in alongside Joe Gomez at centre back. Moving into the full back positions, I think Nico Williams will probably come in. He got a little bit of game time recently enough, did well, assisted a goal as well when he came on. So I think put Nico Williams at right back, keep Kostas Tsimikas at left back there to get him more minutes, because I've been rather impressed at what I've seen from Kostas this season, and I think he genuinely has it in him. And I never thought I'd utter these words, I promise you. I thought I'd never say, let's have someone that can push Andy Robertson. I didn't think it was going to be possible, but this lad could quite do it, you know. And look, I know a lot of people are going to be looking at the centre-back situation and go, hang on, Nat Phillips, Craig. And look, yeah, Nat Phillips is a good show. Of course it is. Nat Phillips drops in at centre-back there. I've got no issues with it whatsoever, but I'd like to capitalise on Konaté's good performance at Old Trafford by keeping him in the team. And I thought it'd be rather unfair of Joe Gomez if I put Nat Phillips in there. So for me, and look, I get it, I understand it, and you're spot on. It's as good a call as any if you want to put in Nat Phillips at centre-back. But I've gone for Joe Gomez and Ibrahima Konaté, with Kostas Tsimikas and Nico Williams. Midfield is where I probably had the biggest headache. It's a position that at the start of the season fair to say we thought we were stacked in that position. No, we didn't replace Gini Wijnaldum. But even when you read through the list of midfielders that Jurgen Klopp had at his disposal when all were fit, there's a good 7 or 8 solid centre midfielders in there. So with this, I've gone for Tyler Morton, I've gone for Curtis Jones and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Again, I think with Chamberlain, it's another opportunity for him to impress. And in these type of games, you would expect Chamberlain to show that he's a class above other midfielders out there on the pitch, particularly against a team like Preston. So for me, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Tyler Morton, who I was very impressed with against Norwich when he came on, and Curtis Jones. Look, I know it's a risk playing Curtis Jones, by the way, because we are short in midfield. We're waiting for Thiago to come back. Obviously, we're not sure when Harvey Elliott is going to be back. We still don't know the full extent of Naby Keita's injury, and of course, we don't know what the situation is with James Milner either. So it may be a little bit different. Maybe Jurgen Klopp might take another risk or two in midfield. Maybe he drops Bobby back into midfield. I don't know. But for me, Tyler Morton, Curtis Jones and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. And then up top, I've gone for Divock Origi through the middle, Cade Gordon on the right-hand side and Takumi Minamino on the left. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that that's a team with enough experience in it and enough youth in it to get the right mix, to get the result, to get us through to the next round of the League Cup. Because I won't lie to you, I want Liverpool to win trophies this season, and I want the League Cup and the FA Cup to be taken, I don't want to say seriously, because that's an indictment of the manager, and I don't feel that he purposely tries to get knocked out of these tournaments. I think that he just tries to manage his squad as best he can. So for me, that 11 there, I think, would be enough to get through. It's Deepdale, isn't it, the Preston player? I think that would be enough to get us through. And look, again, I'm going to hand it over to you guys now in the chat to see what you think. But again, just to run through for me, I'm predicting a 3-1 win for the Reds. Kelleher in goal if he recovers from his illness. If not, Adrian San Miguel. Nico at right back, Costas at left back, Gomez and Canade at centre back, although I fully appreciate and understand all the shouts for Nat Phillips. Tyler Morton, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Curtis Jones in midfield. Cade Gordon, Divock Origi and Takumi Minamino. That's the 11 I've gone with. Again, I'll hand it over to you guys now in the chat and see how you feel. I'd be excited to have a look at Balaghese. Yeah, good shout. That's a very, very good shout, Red Goals. And I should be joined on Wednesday for the watch-along by Jack Gill, who, as you guys know, is second to none when it comes to his knowledge of younger players coming through at Liverpool. So it would be great fun to have Jack involved in that. So again, that's a great shout in Balaghese. I know somebody who Jack rates very highly as well. Captain, oh god, I don't know. Origi, probably. I would suggest Origi would be the captain in that team. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I heard Conor Bradley can play in midfield. Is it true? Yes, he can, mate. Look, he's probably known as a right back, but he absolutely can play in midfield, 100%, and could be a good shout there. I mean, I think I even remember an article recently that suggests that midfield could be where Conor Bradley makes his breakthrough. So again, it could be a very, very good shout. Our midfield options are limited. I'd be worried to play Curtis again, said Philip Hunt. Look, man, it's a good shout. I know. I can't disagree with you, dude. It's certainly an area of the field where we're going to have to manage for the next couple of weeks until we know the extent of Milner's injury, the extent of Keita's injury, and of course, till we know when Thiago Alcantara will be back available. I mean, yesterday I thought would have been an ideal game for Thiago. Thankfully, we got through it, and well, to say we got through it, that's an understatement, isn't it? We gave them an absolute kick in that Old Trafford. But Cameron said I would start Nat again. Absolutely, mate, no issues with that whatsoever. And Nat Phillips is probably a good shout as well, to be fair. Tyra Briley, I think it is, said I want Cade Gordon to score. Yeah, I'm strongly thinking of sticking a sneaky few quid on a Cade Gordon goal tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's a good show. And look, I wanted him to score in the last game as well when he played against Norwich in the third round of the League Cup. But to me, I think that's a team that could get through. And yeah, absolutely stick Phillips at centre-back. And you could rotate him in for Canade, no problem. And you'd still be fairly comfortable with that one. Daddy Wolf said, I'm a big Liverpool fan. I've heard of the Gordon kid but never seen him play. What is he like? He's really, really good. I was actually surprised. Like, when I say he's really good, I'm not saying he's going to be another Jadon Sancho, another Jude Bellingham of that level of footballer, but it's right to be excited about this kid. We really fought hard to get him from Derby, and when I first seen him play, I thought, okay, now I understand what this is about now. Do you know what I mean? I understand why we fought so hard to get him. So yeah, Jay Kane, of course, is another decent shout. There's loads of talented youngsters that we could give a shout to here. And again, I think you'll see some of these guys that you're mentioning come on from the bench as well during the game. Deguzi said, I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I am a Welsh fan, and also Nico Williams should go on loan in January. I think we as Liverpool fans may thought that Nico Williams may move on last summer. The words coming out after his time with Wales was that perhaps he wanted to go and search a first team football, and we all understood that, because it's going to be very hard to displace Trent on a permanent basis. So from us, we were kind of waiting for an offer to come in for Nico, and it didn't come in. And it's one of those situations where nobody has a bad word to say about the kid. He just, if he wants to go off and play football, you can understand that 100%. Did Craig just say daddy to me? Yeah, I did. Your name's Daddy Wolves, isn't it? That's the way I read it anyway. What have we got? Canade, great prospect, very good with physical attributes. Somebody saying Jay Kane can't even get into the Newport team. That's not a great look, to be fair. It's not a great look. And look, I'll be the first one to admit I am not the greatest source of information on Liverpool's underage players. Not at all. That's why we need Jack Gill involved in the post or in the watch along, and that's why Jack Gill will be with us, because as you guys know, I don't know many better than Jack Gill when it comes to the knowledge of the underage players at Liverpool, who's coming through, who to keep an eye on. Jack he's like an encyclopedia of knowledge for the underage system. Elijah Dixon Bonner been training with the first team as well, so it could be another good option, said Byron. Thank you, Byron. Appreciate your input, dude. Surely Mane plays after being left out. I don't think so, and let me tell you for why. See, I went fully Welsh there. Let me tell you for why. I think with the AFCON coming up, and I know it's a little bit away, but Jurgen Klopp might be looking at this week and thinking, right, I didn't play him at Old Trafford. I didn't start him at Old Trafford, didn't play him at Old Trafford, and then don't play him in this game. He gets a full week off. He gets a full week off without playing, and play him then at home against Brighton at 3 o'clock next Saturday. To me, that would be a good way of managing Sadio Mane's game time. So that's just my 2 cents on it anyway, dude. Anfield agenda is goated. Well, if you say so, dude, I'm not going to argue with you. Do you know what I mean? I keep forgetting Canade's 22. He looks way older because he's a tank. We're good with centre-backs for years to come. I don't disagree with you, Puskas is a god, mate. We have some great options at centre-back. We really do. Just to look at the 5 we have there now. Van Dijk, Matip, Canade, Joe Gomez, and obviously Nat Phillips. That's tasty, man. That is tasty. Is Kay Gordon injured? Is he injured genuinely? I didn't know that Kay Gordon was injured, mate. If he is injured, then obviously we'll have to swap somebody in. I genuinely didn't know that he was injured. So if he is injured, maybe the gaffer goes a little bit stronger then. Maybe the gaffer goes with, dare I say it, Diogo Jota? Perhaps, I don't know. I know the game is on Wednesday, Walter. I just keep thinking today's Tuesday for some reason, dude. But yes, look, the game is on Wednesday. We will be doing a watch along of it starting about 35 minutes before kick-off. Yeah, my apologies on that one then. So I love the Musialowski show. I don't know if it's a little bit too early from Byron, but I do like the Musialowski show. And look, again, I apologise if Kay Gordon's out injured, but I'll be the first one to put my hands up and say I don't really know too much about players coming through the underage system. That's where I hand off to Jack Gill for this type of stuff. I'll be the first one to put my hands up and say it. But Musialowski, again, another good show. And Balghazi, as was said earlier on, another good option there as well. Musialowski equals or is better than a new Lewandowski. Heard great things. Actually seen quite a few highlights of Musialowski, and I know he says he models his game on Messi, but you can genuinely see that he's talking the truth, that he does model his game of the way Messi plays. Hope Minamino does well this season, said memes. So do I, because again, if we can get a tune out of Takumi Minamino, that price tag is 7.25 million quid will just look even more ridiculous. So I hope he does well. Would you not start Nat Phillips? Again, I said it at the start of the video. I can understand if anybody wants to go with Nat Phillips. My thinking was just that Ibrahima Konate played so well at Old Trafford. I'd like to carry that momentum through because I could probably see Joel Matip playing next weekend against Brighton. So why not let him get back-to-back games? And I just thought to myself, then it would be really harsh if we didn't give Joe Gomez the nod. So look, for me, Gomez has to play. But if the gaffer wants to bring in Nat Phillips and rest Canade, absolutely no problem with that either. You know, it's 2 from 3, pretty much so. Puskas is a god said, I'm predicting a 2-1 winner with a cheeky Origi goal and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to score 2. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Is it Florizzi? Said, chance Klopp could play Mane, Origi and Cade in the forward role. Someone said Cade's injured, dude. Someone said Cade is injured. So if Cade Gordon is injured, you've got Musialowski as an option. You have Balagasi as an option. You could go even stronger then. Maybe Mane or Jota as an option. Do you think Vandenberg will play for Preston against us? I don't see the Klopp's going to stop him. Now, I don't know what the loan rules are in the League Cup. I'll be the first one to put my hands up and say I don't know what the loan rules are. But if it's a matter of Klopp allowing him to play, I think Klopp would allow him to play. Ollie's at the wheel. Love to see it, Luke. You love to see it. He might not now. From what I can understand, there's a meeting going on at Old Trafford today. And I don't know if there will be news around Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but, if there is going to be news, you would imagine it will come fairly quickly. Should Klopp make an effort to win the EFL Cup? Absolutely, Philip. Absolutely. I want these boys to shower themselves in silverware, mate. I want Jurgen Klopp and the rest of the boys to finish up their time at Liverpool with every possible trophy. And a trip out to Wembley, trip out to Anfield South, that would do rather nicely, wouldn't it? So, yeah. There's no way Karius is going to play, Byron. There's no hope in hell that Karius is going to play. I can promise you that, mate. There's more chance of me starting in goal tomorrow for Liverpool. I said it again, didn't I? There's more chance of me starting in goal for Liverpool on Wednesday than there is of Loris Karius. And he shouldn't be anywhere near it either, to be fair. Ollie's closer to being sacked, it says on Twitter. Well, look, if that doesn't... And look... Obviously, as a Liverpool fan, I want him to stay in there as long as possible, but if that isn't a wake-up call to the owners, that the players just either don't understand the system, don't want the manager there, but that was an indictment yesterday of Manchester United. It really was. Craig, what do you think about Origi, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Minamino up front? The only problem I'd have with that, Callum, is we need midfielders, mate. I've no problem with the 3 you named there, but of course... We just need to fill out midfield without unduly risking those who are still fit and available. What a nice young squad, yes. And these are exciting games for me because, look, you want to go through, of course you do. But I really get excited about seeing some of the younger players coming through and what the future holds. For instance, for me, I didn't know anything about Tyler Morton until he came on against Norwich. And I was really, really impressed with his cameo in that game. I really was. He stood out. I thought he ran the midfield in the second half. A player cannot play against the home club in the EFL. There you go. That's that one sorted out. So then no Sepp Vandenberg for Preston tomorrow. Thank you for filling me in on that one. Thank you to Liz and everybody else in the chat. Victor, how are you, my man? Said, hey Craig, hope you're doing well. Obviously, Victor, you can tell by the smile, buddy. I didn't get much sleep, but I'm very, very happy. But we'll go on with your super chat, dude, and I hope you're well as well, or as well as can be, because as you said, you're a United fan. It's really divided, Ollie in or Ollie out. Ollie out is best for Man United moving forward. It is, and look, I get it, mate. Of course I get it. You want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to do well, because there's a lot of goodwill there. Manchester United... I don't know if legend is stretching the term, but certainly a very fond member of that Manchester United squad that won that Champions League in the most dramatic of fashions against Bayern Munich. And there's a lot of goodwill there when he came in. And look, I kind of, not to say I compare it to, but the only thing from our perspective that I can really look to compare it to was when Sir Kenny Dalglish was brought in after Hodgson to stabilise the club. And it's very easy if said manager, Kenny in our case, Ollie in your case, did do that, because didn't Ollie go 17 unbeaten, something like that when he came in? So it's very easy for owners then to go, oh, maybe he has the magic touch. But at least with FSG, now we might not like the way they went about the Dalglish situation, but at least they drew a line there and eventually went out and got a new manager in. I think Manchester United's board, not very football focused, I think it's fair to say, probably just thought, oh, maybe we have a quick fix here. Maybe the players will play for him. Maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has something special about him. But I think, this is his 3rd year in charge at United? I don't see it. I really don't see any progress. I can always look at Liverpool under Klopp and go, right, took us a while to get into the title race, but we could see progression year on year. I think last season, with how poor we were, with the fact that there were no fans inside stadiums, I think United's league position, I don't want to say it was a false league position because you finished where you deserve to finish, but I think it might have papered over some cracks for Manchester United's board and maybe a certain section of the Manchester United fan base because, you finished second in the league, never going to challenge for the league, and we somehow managed to finish third, having our worst season in a while. So that's my take on the situation with Ollie, and I think he has to be sacked. I think the longer it goes on, the better for everybody else, but the longer for United fans it goes on, every week that goes by, you're dropping further and further away from the Champions League places. You've got difficult games coming up. Manchester City's the next home game at Old Trafford, and they're gonna want a performance in that game. They absolutely capitulated against us. They're gonna want a performance, and Spurs I think as well next up away in the Premier League. So got to get a result there, dude. Mike Dean will be refereeing the Brighton game. Again, I'll say what I said when Anthony Taylor was referee. By the way, credit to Anthony Taylor and Stuart Atwell. I was critical of their appointments all week, but I thought that they handled the game very well. Fair play to Stuart Atwell as well, making Anthony Taylor aware to go and look at Pogba's challenge again. I thought that was spot on. But I will say what I've always said, I don't think Mike Dean should be refereeing Liverpool games either. I know he's a Tranmere fan. I know he's got a daughter, I think, who's a Liverpool fan, but I just don't think it's right. I don't think it's right that people from that neck of the woods should be managing games. So, there you go. For me, I just think it's silly. I just think it gives the Premier League a headache. And an unnecessary one. Does Queevy and Kelleher prefer money watching? What? Is this an actual question? Does Queevy and Kelleher prefer money watching Alisson on the bench over regular football in another club? Dude, he only started playing as a fucking keeper when he was 15 years of age. He's only just pushed Adrian out of the way to get into number 2 at Liverpool. And he's had some injury difficulties and illness. So to say that he's grabbing money, he's learning off one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now. And he's still only a young man. And he was very unlucky as well that he had an injury and Gavin Banzunu came into the Ireland squad and played marvellously well and rightly has made the number 1 shot in Ireland his own. So I think that's a horrendous indictment. And I seen you had a little shitty snidey dig as well at Nico Williams earlier on as well about money. Why are you so obsessed about players worried about money, dude? Or players being focused on money? Queevy and Kelleher is learning from one of the best goalkeepers in the world, training with him day in and day out at Kirby. And I no doubt he will get a loaner. He will eventually move on. But right now, to say that he's focusing on money, that's silly. Victor, again, thank you for the super chat, dude. Said exactly, Craig. Ollie, in my opinion, are getting protected by Ollie's mates like Gary, Rio, and other members or other versions of his mates. Liverpool deserved that one at Old Trafford. Salah is in the same bracket as Messi. Yeah, it is. I have to say, I very much like Gary Neville as a pundit. I do. But I understand everybody that's annoyed over the Gary Neville protection of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because you could see after the post-match show yesterday that Graham Souness, that Jamie Carragher, that the Sky Sports presenter, they were all trying to point out to Gary Neville how silly he was being, for want of a better phrase, because look, of course he's going to want to defend his mate, of course he is. As a mate you'd commend him for that, but it is blatantly clear. And look, you don't want everybody calling for managers to be sacked, but I think that he's making some irrational defences of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I really do. And phrases like, I think the board will hold their nerve, that to me is a message to the Manchester United board more than anything. Somebody who has obviously a bit of clout there in the club saying to the board, don't sack him. That's the way I look at it. So nobody's asking him to say Ollie be sacked, but to me, he's gone too far out of his way to protect Ollie. That's just my opinion. Call it right, call it wrong. Akash, how are you, mate? Thank you very much for the super chat. Said one of the most unsung heroes of the last match was Robbo. Excellent defensively and superb leadership. Canade's physicality and pace was awesome. Yeah, it's great to see Robbo back, isn't it? Getting back to his own really, really high levels, because at the start of the season, we weren't getting the same Andy Robertson. Maybe the little push from Kostas Tsimikas helped him out a little bit, but I agree. I thought Robbo was exceptionally good. Good luck for the young Reds, said Bambrosi. Anyone know how old Keita is? I think he's 24. I think. Could be wrong. I think he's 23, 24. Craig, do you think Minamino will play in January when Mo and Sadio go to the AFCON? Could be a game for Taki to show what he can do. I think he has to play. Puskas is a god, mate, when the lads go to the AFCON. I think Origi will get more minutes as well when the guys go to the AFCON. And look, it could be the making of Takumi Minamino. Look, we still don't know if it'll be 8 games, 4 games, 5 games, 6 games that the lads will miss, because I think there's still negotiations going on between the clubs, all the Premier League clubs, and of course the international federation. So he's 26. I didn't think he was that fucking old. Jesus, I thought he was still 24. Fuck me. 26. He better get a finger out then. He was an absolutely incredible yesterday, and I want to reiterate what I said about Naby Keita yesterday. You know, a lot of people have pointed out to me about Cristiano Ronaldo's kicking of the ball at Curtis Jones and Fred's high foot and Bruno Fernandes challenge and all that stuff. But to me, none of those challenges compare to what Paul Pogba did. What Paul Pogba did was cowardly and was set out to injure another professional. I've always stood up for footballers. You can look at the Antoine Griezmann watch-along when he was sent off. I said straight out, red card, but no malice there from Antoine Griezmann. He did not know that the player was there. He wasn't looking to injure him. But yesterday, Paul Pogba knew what he was doing, and he is a fucking lowlife. Look at him. Now, people will show you still images of this, and they'll show you still images of him going in and his foot rolling over the top of the ball. Look at how he goes into the tackle. 2 feet off the ground and jumps into the ground. That is the tackle of a petulant little coward that set out to injure another player because he couldn't fucking hack it, that they were having their asses handed to him by a better team. And it does my head in. He should be banned for minimum 3 games, which I think he will get because it was a straight red. But it was a dirty, dirty, cowardly challenge. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I will always defend footballers. I will always say that was an accident, no malice intended. But that was intended to do exactly what it fucking did. And Naby Keita's momentum at Liverpool was brought to a shuddering halt by another cowardly challenge, by another petulant fucking brat. That's my take on it. It was a disgraceful challenge. I don't put Ronaldo's kicking of the ball anywhere near the same. I don't put Fred's high foot anywhere near the same. I don't think in any way that they set out to injure a player. But that Pogba challenge was disgusting. It was disgusting. And anyone who's played the game knows that he knew what he was doing. Off the ground, 2-footed, momentum into the tackle, studs up, sickening. And I'm sick of our players being out for prolonged periods of time because other players can't handle that they're getting played off the park. It's not our fault that Paul Pogba's dog shit at United. It's not Naby Keita's fault that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't pick him. And then when he did pick him, it's not our fault that we were bitch slapping them 5-0. Well, it is our fault in fairness, but it's just a horrible challenge. It really is. And I hate to scapegoat footballers or point fingers at them because I'm always defending them. But that was fucking annoying. Sorry. What else we got? Pogba was smiling walking off the pitch. He did it on purpose. I think the smile to me, and look, I'm no body language expert, but I think the smile to me was masking his own frustrations. Because look, they were having their asses handed to them on their own patch. That's going to hurt. No doubt about that. Look, Gerrard did it when he came on years ago as well. You know, he was sent off even quicker, first couple of seconds. But I don't like seeing it. I don't like seeing it at all. How are you after yesterday, said Rohan? I'm good, my man. I didn't get much sleep. I just kept thinking about the score over and over again. Dara said Ronaldo should have been sent off. I see, Ronaldo's was petulant. That's the way I look at it. And he only kicked the ball. Now look, he kicked the ball with some force at Curtis Jones, who had it in front of the crown jewel. So there is that. But I would call that an orange card. So I understood entirely why Ronaldo wasn't sent off. It was petulant, it was shitty, it was frustration. But I thought Ronaldo afterwards walked away and handled himself better. I think that was frustration. So I think an orange card, a yellow card, a very high yellow, I think that was about right. I do. I think it would have been... And look, would I have wanted Ronaldo to be sent off to wind United up? Of course I would. But I gotta be honest, I don't think it was enough to get a red. Where in Ireland am I? In Wexford, mate, in Wexford. I love Naby. I think he's so talented, but Pogba is just a fraud when nothing goes his way. Change his attitude on the pitch and not trying off the pitch, throwing the manager under the bus, said Cameron Jarvis. Yeah, look, it is an indictment of him and not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think that, well, to some extent, maybe Solskjaer because he can't get a tune out of Pogba, but when you have Fred and McTominay starting ahead of you most weeks because the manager doesn't think that you can fit into a squad or you can do the right things, then that says a lot about how Paul Pogba is on the training pitch, I think. What was the amount of voice notes you sent to Mark in the end? Do you know what? To be fair, Matthew, they were rather courteous voice notes back and forth because, you know, there is no banter really in a 5-0 whooping. It's almost like kicking a puppy. And it would be the same the other way around. If United had beaten us 5-0, I don't think he would have gone in on me either. You know, he got a little voice note and we exchanged some pleasantries, of course. But yeah, I don't want to go too over the top on any United fans at the minute because they don't need me telling them what a mess they're in. Ronaldo action was a red card offence. Well, according to the referees, it wasn't, mate. Look, again, I can understand why people would look at it that way, but to me the Pogba challenge was just the worst one of the game by a country mile. Would I start? Nah. I could understand them starting, Shannon. Absolutely, I could understand them starting. My thought process, as I said at the start of the video, was to carry on Ibrahima Konaté's good form from the game against United. I would expect Matip to probably come in for the Brighton game, so I think just to give Konaté another run out, and I think it would be very harsh if Joe Gomez didn't get a run out. So yeah, look, I can understand the Nat Phillips shouts, of course I can. I'm an Arsenal fan, and to be honest with you, I'm not looking forward to playing you guys after the international break, after seeing the way you dismantled that lot yesterday. I've actually been, dare I say it, almost impressed with the attitude, mate, from Arsenal recently. You can certainly look at the likes of Smith Rowe, Saka at Arsenal, and see that you can see some progression. You can. So I wouldn't be as worried, mate, because I think you'll probably give us a better game than United did in their own patch. Cameron said Adrian or Kelleher. If Kelleher's well, if he's over his illness, I think Quevin starts. Obviously, if he doesn't, I'd expect Adrian to start. What's this one? Craig, why do I enjoy this team mostly? I don't know. Oh, thank you, wifey. Spring is bringing in the coffee. I know. I'm on overtime here, love. Do you know what I mean? Tonight, ladies and gents, by the way, sorry, just to reiterate, tonight there will be a Cop the Week show, 8:45. Steve isn't around, so it's going to be myself, James Redmond, and Chris Stonage from LFC Transfer Room. So 8:45 tonight, you can join myself, James Redmond, and Chris Stonage, where, look, you know we're going to be talking about the game yesterday. You know we are, because I haven't spoke to Mr. James Redmond or Mr. Chris Stonage since the game, so I'm looking forward to catching up with those guys. Again, this preview has been brought to you with thanks to our friends at Ultimate Fan. If you haven't downloaded the Ultimate Fan app, please do so. It's basically the concept of FIFA pack openings and FPL combined into one really cool gaming experience. Once you sign up, you'll get a free 10-card player pack to put straight into your team. You'll score points based on things like shots on goal, assists, goals, tackles won, all that kind of stuff. Every week then, every Tuesday, you'll get a free 3-card player pack that allows you to boost your team. As I said, entirely free. Allows you to get creative players, allows you to get more team badges, allows you to build up your squad. And if you want to, you can spend an extra £5 a month maximum on gold or silver packs, which again will boost up your squad and get you guaranteed better players, to be honest. But you don't have to spend whatsoever. There's a £300,000 prize pool. You can get your share of it each week with, I think, about £8,500. All you have to do is be over 18 years of age, be a UK or Irish resident, and download it with the link in the description in the stream and let us know how you get on. I've been close to the money twice. Haven't gotten into it yet. I'm determined to get into it at least once or twice this season. So let me know if you win any money on Ultimate Fan. You can find it in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. And again, use our link below. That'll take you directly to the landing page. I think that squad could beat United. Why not? Why not, Wade? Do you know what I mean? I was well impressed with Konaté yesterday, said Michael Manning. Michael, he was exceptional, dude. Exceptional. Now look, he'll have tougher afternoons than that. He will, but I'm with you. I was a bit skeptical of Matip not playing, but I think Ibrahima Kanate justified his selection and put in a very good performance. Anthony said, add Houlden. Mate, the bills have got to be paid. This is what happens. Look, I'll explain it if you want. No problem, dude. I mean, I understand people don't want people reading out ads and stuff, but unless people want paywalls, this is the only way YouTubers can really earn a living, mate, and pay the people involved in the channel and pay for equipment and all that kind of stuff is by getting sponsors and brands on board. And I've always been really, 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 really adamant from day one that I don't want any Anfield Agenda content behind the paywall. And to do that, mate, we got to be creative about how we do things. And one of those ways is, of course, partnering up with brands that we like, brands that we use, like in this case, Ultimate Fan or Surfshark or Manscaped. And I understand it can be a little bit annoying for a minute while somebody reads out an ad. I get it. I'd do the same if I was watching content, mate. But I promise you, without brands like Manscaped, Ultimate Fan, Surfshark, we wouldn't be able to do what we do because AdSense is shite. Google pay shit money. The money that you make on ads on YouTube is absolutely diabolically shit. So the only way that you can make a living is by bringing brands on board. So I get it, I understand it, but I can't not do it, dude. Do you know what I mean? I want to improve my family's life, and I promise you I'll never go behind the paywall. I never will go behind the paywall. But this is the trade-off. And look, I've listened. By the way, you'll notice that there's no betting companies that we work with anymore. We listened to the feedback, took a loss on a good chunk of money because we wanted our audience to be comfortable with the brands that we work with. So, you know, I hope you understand. Mohamed Salah has broken so many stats this season. That's because he's fucking class, mate. What is the team? The one that I'm projecting, mate, would start against Preston in the League Cup on Wednesday. Do I think Connor Bradley gets minutes? Yes, probably, Luke. Again, interestingly, somebody raised this point earlier on about him going into midfield, and I think it's definitely something that is planned for him in the future. Someday I'll meet Trent and Robbo. What fullbacks? They're class, mate. Let Craig eat Manscaped, OneFootball, or whatever he needs to do. Exactly. It's the only way that we can keep the lights on. It really is. Do I have to pay the sponsors? Why would I have to pay sponsors? Why would that make any sense to anybody? But it's the other way around, mate. Sponsors pay channels to advertise the products and give us tracking links and stuff like that. But yeah, defo. It got to be done, man. You know, I could have put Anfield Agenda's content behind the paywall and made a lot more money, but I don't agree with it. I forgot about Boyle Sports at Rehan. Well, again, we listened. The feedback was that you guys would rather... Now, you were very kind about it, but you guys said you'd rather we didn't work with betting companies, and I've listened. We no betting companies. And I think you'll understand, betting companies pay well. But we listen to our audience, and you guys rule the ship, and without you, we wouldn't be here. That's the way it is. Simple as that. Right, I'm going to leg it, have a cup of coffee. I'm going to be doing a stream with KLOPP, which is a lady from India, I believe. I'm doing that stream at 6 o'clock, so looking forward to catching up with her, and I will chat to you guys at 8:45 tonight, where I'll be back with James Redmond and Chris Stonage for another KLOPP the Week. Love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Have a lovely evening. Hope to see